Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining today for this session. My name is Sunil Pamnani. As Bhumika mentioned, I look after the India subcontinent and Southeast Asia for Qualtrics SAP as part of the SAP family, the Qualtrics line of business. And today I'm going to talk more about why we believe the future of retail is actually within an experience management. And let me explain to you what is experience management, why we believe this is something that every retailer today is definitely thinking about, and not only thinking, but actually doing something about it, as it's something that their entire future relies on this. So just a quick a snapshot around SAP Qualtrics. Qualtrics has been around for nearly 20 years. We were a couple of years ago acquired by SAP in 2018. But just a month ago, or less than a month ago, we were spinned off as a public company, although the majority shareholdership of the company remains with SAP. Now, as part of our growth in India, we've been very successful in launching with a lot of good brands in the market that are already using Qualtrics today for their experience management programs. And I'll talk more about what those programs are. Aside from India, definitely we're all across the world. We've got more than 3,000 employees and 10 offices across APJ and globally, quite a few of them. And looking forward to engaging with some of you as we go through this journey around experience management. Now, before we get into experience management, let me set the context here, right? Because right now we believe we are what we call the age of experience. Right? And this is something that we are all going through right now. And it's not something that has just come up on us suddenly. It has been going through over many years, many decades of transformation that has come to this point today. Gone are the days when you were in age of manufacturing, where you manufacture stuff and people will buy. Or, the age of distribution, where you get the product out into the shops, and you would have a success rate of getting that product out through the door. Or recently the age of the customer, where you just bring all the customer data together, pull through from every different system, and you've suddenly got a customer-centric view of your organization, and you know what your customers want. But that's definitely not the case. In the age of experience triumphs about everything else. And we believe that a customer ignores the product, the price, the packaging, or whatever it is around that service and product, and really focuses on the overall experience they've had with while consuming that product, while engaging with that brand, while engaging with the employees of that organization, and how overall the customer feels about it. And the organizations that have gone ahead and actually led with this kind of initiative, focusing more on the experience, have really, really come out strong in the market, just by judging from their S&P performance in the stock market. And so to manage all these experiences is great. And we believe, and I guess by now most of you understand, that experience is a key differentiator for retail to thrive in the future. But the funny part is, as you probably see on the left-hand side of the screen, is when a study was done recently, 80% of the CEOs that were interviewed said they really believe their organization is delivering a superior experience to their customers as well as employees. However, when you went and spoke to those same customers and employees of those same organizations, only 8% agreed with that. So clearly there's this big gap between what the top management thinks about what they are doing, or what they believe the organization is doing to deliver a very good experience, and what the other party on the other side thinks about that. And so the gap is resulting into various huge implications for the overall global economy, where there's a lot of customer churn, lost productivity, and of course a lot of outsourced programs being out there, because everybody's trying to get access to the experience data, but they don't have the tools and the solutions to do that. So they're just outsourcing it to a third-party agency to go do it for them once a year or maybe twice a year in that. And so that is really not helping anybody and benefiting anybody. And so to prove that point within India, what we also did is just 10 months ago, while we were all coming out of the the Janta curfew that Mr. Modi came on the TV and mentioned about, or the lockdown, that the first phase of lockdown number 1 that happened. We did a study during that time, and we found out, and it asked a lot of consumers, Indian consumers themselves, about what would they really consider a brand should do, an organization should do as they come out of this lockdown. And so we were surprised that most of them, 8 out of 10, 80% said they would want to make sure the brand considers that they take care of their employees. It's very important to your consumers that organizations take care of their employees. Of course, right behind it, organization too should take care of their customers, especially coming out of the lockdown phase. And right at, one of the least performing ones was the product part. So this definitely, to me, and to my organization, was something that we realized that in India, customer experience is not dead. In fact, it is the top of the mind thing for every consumer when they're engaging with a brand and a service provider in there. So, but the problem now is that while experience, everybody wants to deliver a very superior experience and it's on the top of their mind, the problem with organizations internally is that they don't know how to get access to this data and be able to take action on it right away so they can improve upon that experience that the consumer is getting. So think about, on the left-hand side, over the years, organizations have spent millions of dollars to install systems like ERP to collect data from all different parts of the business, operational data, sales, finance, also human resource data, everything they know about the employee, their salaries and everything, all of that into one system so they can get all this data in one place so they can get some insights around what is working, what is not working in the business using the historical data. But what they don't know is having a single platform that allows them to bring all the experience data together from their consumers, from their employees, from their brands and markets, so they can actually share that in real time with all the different departments who can then go take action on those insights and further follow up and with a better experience in there. And so with that, we at Qualtrics kind of solve that problem for organizations. We are an experience management provider where a single platform that allows organizations to run, measure, and monitor their customer experience, employee experience, brand experience, and as well as product experience programs. Now, if you look back in your organization, I can very well say that you would say that, hey, I'm already doing this. My HR is reaching out to my employees once a year with a 50-question survey or a questionnaire to ask about how they feel working at the organization. And then I get an agency to kind of run through those insights. Or I also use a third-party agency to kind of go and find out from the market, how's my brand doing, my brand awareness, my brand equity. Or from a customer point of view, I might be doing some mystery shopping or asking some ad hoc feedback from my customers. This is all great. It's a good start, but it doesn't give you anything except that you end up with a PowerPoint slide with some data on it. And so how do you make this data actionable? How do you make this data simple enough for every business user to consume based on what they are responsible for and actually take action on it? Action is very, very important. If you're not able to take action on this data as soon as possible, then forget about collecting the data as it's normally found in these programs in there. And so with Qualtrics, we bring it all together in real time. We have a suite of analytics that runs through all this data. We present this data back in real time to every stakeholder in the business and helps them understand better about their consumers, their employees, their brands and product, and then actually deliver a superior experience with that. To give you an example, organizations like, for example, we have organizations that like PhonePe, for example, in India, that use Qualtrics for delivering an employee experience. For them, employees are very, very much important for them to make sure that they are happy, they're engaged, they're always thinking about the organization and how to grow them, and more importantly, having a good experience. And so rather than just outsourcing it, PhonePe actually owns this program and being able to engage with employees and on a very frequent basis to make sure that they're actually having a good experience in there. And that's just one example of many examples I can go through. But if you look back at the XM point of view, we're solving actual business challenges. This is not just another data. This is the data that actually tells you what's ahead on the road. So imagine you're driving a car, your operational data that you're collecting today through your CRM is like your rear view mirror. It's telling you what has happened in the past. And based on this, you're going to make some decisions. But what the experience data is telling you what is going to happen in the future. Are your customers going to keep buying or keep using your product and coming back to your stores? Are your employees going to leave you and not deliver a good experience? Is your brand going to be strong enough in the market in the next 6 months as you come out of the lockdown in order to resonate well with your consumers? That's all forward-looking that allows organizations to take actions today and then deliver a superior experience behind it in there. Problem with, as I mentioned earlier, with XM is that while it's mission critical, it's very difficult to achieve, which is typically why in the past, organizations have tried to wash away with their hands with it by just outsourcing it to some agencies who do it and sit on that data for months. And by the time you get any insights, the ship has already sailed the harbor and you're left with nothing in there. But those days are gone. Today we have platforms like Qualtrics that allow organizations, especially retailers, retail organizations around the world, to deliver a better experience by centralizing all this data, connecting it together, your customer, your employee, brand, and product, and also making it personalized to every stakeholder in the organization, personalized to every consumer, personalized to every employee, rather than just another way of asking data. And lastly, but not important, as I said earlier, is the actionable part of it, right? Being able to take action on this data is superior important and something most programs fail at doing this. So let's just quickly go through how this all works. I'm just conscious of the time, so I'll quickly go through this. Imagine you're a coffee shop, a very mid-market kind of business, even at the lower end, but they are a coffee shop is very important and they have long-term customers and they want to know how can they reduce the churn on their long-term customers by 45%. Now, typically, the coffee house wouldn't know how to do this, but with Qualtrics, they can get started within a couple of hours. They can, first of all, upload the consumer data that they've already collected in an operational system and being able to segment that system as to who they want to reach out to in order to engage and find out about their experience. Then quickly select the channels. People today use various modes of communication, right? You have WhatsApp, you have SMS, you have email, you have Facebook, you have Google Chat, all kind of things. What channels, bringing all these channels together has been a very difficult part, but with Qualtrics, it's super easy. You select what channels you want. Then the study is rolled out. In real time, as data starts coming in from your consumers, who based on the segmentation and the channel we have selected, insights are generated, and those insights are now being given to every person in the organization through mobile app, XM mobile app, or through a dashboard, and letting them get insights about what are the top 3 things they can work on to take action in order to improve the experience of the consumers. And the ability of taking actions typically has been very difficult because you don't know what rules to apply and how to configure those rules, because this is all messy, unstructured data that you're getting from the consumers. But with Qualtrics, because of our analytics, this problem is solved. And you're able to kind of have these workflows set up with a point-and-click approach, and then allows organizations to start taking actions and fix the broken experiences they've always had. And you roll this program out not just with one coffee shop, across the board. And that's what one of these, as it says, 30K locations, right? I'm sure you can think about one of the largest coffee chains in the world that actually uses Qualtrics to impart a similar constant experience among its consumers, employees, and deliver a brand experience to all its consumers consistently through the platform at a real-time space in there. And so as I wrap up my presentation today, look, this goes beyond than just consumers. In retail industries, employees are as important as consumers. And more importantly, the brand has to resonate very well. And so there are multiple approaches to this. We would be happy to have a chat in terms of what you're thinking in terms of delivering a superior experience at your organization and take these things forward. So with that, thank you for your time today.